Hello everyone, and thank you for joining me today at Grand Central Mimico Sales Center. Before we share the exciting news around the launch of the South Tower, I want to take a moment and thank you all for the ongoing support and believing in my vision for Grand Central Mimico. We have always known what we're doing here was a rarity and jewel and something very special, and that's why the team at Van Dyke Properties have worked tirelessly to bring this master plan community to fruition. The response to the north and central buildings have been absolutely incredible and to me very humbling. We sold out in less than a week, which I would say is a remarkable milestone. On the heels of this success, we are thrilled to launch the final phase of the Buckingham, the highly anticipated South Tower, the crowning jewel. With unbelievable views of Lake Ontario, green, lush parks, and the iconic Toronto skyline, the South Tower is the jewel building at the Buckingham. Thank you again for joining me, and there's more to come.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the launch of the marquee building in the Buckingham, Grand Central Mimico, the South Tower. Before we get into the launch and all the information, I want to take a moment and just pause and acknowledge all of you out there, our realtor partners, the buyers who have believed in what Van Dyke is creating at Grand Central Mimico. Our team, Van Dyke's team, we always knew this is something special. You are the ones who validated it, so thank you. With that, I want to jump right into all the action that we have because boy, we have a lot of things to talk about today. Grand Central Mimico is truly one of the GTA's most exciting master plan communities. When you unpack our community, there's so much to talk about. We have our main 7 factors that together form this up and coming transit-oriented community. They are redevelopment, residential, office, retail, infrastructure enhancements, green spaces, and much, much more. This is truly Toronto's greatest redevelopment stories. And to really understand why, we have to understand what a regeneration area is in the context of real estate development in Toronto today. A regeneration area is a policy dictated by the City of Toronto that has truly 4 objectives. The first one is to create massive residential growth. The second one is to create lots of new employment opportunities. The third one is to create brand new green spaces to support all of the growth to come. And the fourth one, which is one of the most important ones, is to develop around existing infrastructure. We have some incredible infrastructure that we're building on and around, and we'll get into that in more detail just in a few minutes. Now, a regeneration area, when I say it's rare, I mean it's rare. There are only 7 pockets in all of Toronto that have been designated as regeneration areas. And what that means is that the City of Toronto literally handpicked where they want to see development coming. There are only 7 of them in the city, and I'm talking from Steeles down to the lake, from the 427 over to Pickering, only 7. We're one of 7, but if you cut a line through the city on Dufferin Street between the east and the west side of the city, 6 of the regeneration areas are actually on the east side of the city. Grand Central Mimico is the only regeneration area in the entire city of Toronto west of Dufferin, making this a truly one-of-a-kind purchase opportunity. What's special about this is that the regeneration area is very clearly defined. We call it Mimico Island. Think about other incredible islands all around the world and real estate values on those islands, whether you're thinking about Manhattan or Hong Kong. When you have only a certain amount of land to develop on, you're going to run out of land eventually. And when that happens, real estate prices just go through the roof. Demand goes through the roof, and that's because supply is becoming so scarce. And what happens in Grand Central Mimico is that we have a small triangle to develop in. We can only build about 4,500 units, and once we build through that, there will be no more inventory. Now, I leave it up to you guys out there to decide and tell me what happens when inventory is declining steadily, but demand is constantly on the rise. Prices grow. Now, we're seeing that play out in the city as a whole right now, where there's a lot of pressure on supply. here you're gonna see it play out in a micro scale within our community. And any one of you that purchases a unit at Grand Central Mimico today, tomorrow, in a year, or in 2 years from now will benefit from this growth in the long term. Now compare us to some of the other big master plan communities that are going on in the GTA. Whether you're talking about Square One in Mississauga or downtown Vaughan on Highway 7 in Jane, what's happening there is that there is a lot of supply coming. You're going to be seeing 15 up to 20,000 units being constructed there in the next decade, compared with only 4,500 units in here. This is one of the biggest opportunities that exist right now. Take advantage of it. Now, Grand Central Mimico as a whole, 3 million square feet of residential density and 500,000 square feet of office and retail components. Altogether, we're gonna have 2,700 units. Grand Central Mimico will be the future home to 5,000 to 7,000 new residents within our brand new community. When you're talking about office and retail specifically, you're talking about beautifully designed public spaces, and that's already to build on the incredible retail that exists in this neighborhood today with some of the city's staples, whether it's Jimmy's Coffee, San Remo's Bakery, or an array of restaurants coming all along Lakeshore. The next component in our community is the natural and the green spaces. In a post-COVID era, and we all know that this will be behind us soon, people will appreciate the outdoors so much more. City of Toronto is committed to building a brand new park, Grand Avenue Park, just outside of our front door here, 12 acres. Everyone, that's over 500,000 square feet of brand new park and green space. Being so close to the lake offers our residents one of the most unique amenities in all of Toronto. You could take advantage of all the beautiful green and public spaces created and programmed along the shoreline. We are minutes away to High Park. High Park is the largest park in all of Toronto, coming in at over 17 million square feet of green space. Just stunning, and it's all outside of your front door at Grand Central Mimico. Now, let's take a few moments to talk about a truly historic partnership. Metrolinx, which is the body that operates GO Transit throughout the province, for the first time in their history, have selected to partner up with a private real estate developer to create a truly transit-tailored community anchored in accessibility. That partner is Van Dyke Properties. What does that mean to you? That means that Mimico GO Station is only 2 stops away from Union Station. Union Station being the city's most prominent transit hub, connecting you all into the downtown core. Beyond that, you're also 1 stop away from the Future Ontario line. For those of you who may not be familiar with it, the Future Ontario line is the first subway line to be built in Toronto in nearly 60 years. That's going to be 1 station away from you, and it starts at Ontario Place, travels right through the Toronto core, all the way up to the Ontario Science Centre. 1 stop away. Beyond that, you're on the GO Transit as well, which means you can travel far. You could travel to Oakville, Burlington, Hamilton, Niagara Falls, all on 1 single train directly from Grand Central Mimico. Accessibility has never been better when living in such an urban community. Take advantage of being part of this community where transit connectivity is literally outside of your front door. Now let's talk about what you've all tuned in to see, which is the South Tower. Follow me, let's check it out. Okay everyone, here we are by the beautiful scale model for the first phase of Grand Central Mimico, the Buckingham. As you know, the first 2 buildings are fully sold out. We're here today to focus about the marquee building, the South Tower. 37 stories, 381 units. The entire first phase also consists of a retail component and an office component. So the easy way to remember it is 20, 30, 40. We have 20,000 square feet of stunning retail at grade, 30,000 square feet of incredible office space. Now we have over 40,000 square feet that have been dedicated to amenities by the developer, and the programming is absolutely on point. We have an incredible wellness center with a yoga studio, steam room. We have social club that has a golf simulator in it, party room. We have a co-working space dedicated to today's work from home professional, and just so much more. The intention of creating all of these amenities together is really to bring the residents together and create a micro community within Grand Central Mimico. Now I want to talk about the offering, but before we jump into specifically about the building, I want to talk a little bit about the market as a whole. We've seen incredible activity in Q1, transactions on resale, 80% higher than in Q1 of 2020. And if you remember, 2020 was off to an incredible start. We're seeing a resurgence in rental activity. Even rental prices are starting to rebound. We are on an upward trajectory, and this is the right time to invest in real estate again with confidence. Let's spend a few moments to talk about the unit mix, because we have spent a lot of time creating the type of unit mix that we know that not only is desired by early purchasers, but ultimately also makes the right mix for the people who would live at the Buckingham. We've looked at the resale market really closely and noticed that the largest transactions are recorded in the 2-bedroom category. That means that 2 bedrooms are trading at nearly double the rate of 1 bedrooms in this neighborhood. We wanted to fill in that void, created almost 49% of our overall unit mix in the South Tower as 2 bedrooms. Why? Because we know that the buyers are out there, we know that the tenants are out there for it, and we wanted to put the right product out there for it. So pay close attention when you look through our floor plans to see which unit is the one that's right for you and your clients. When we're talking about pricing, we have done our best to remain as competitive as possible and leave as much meat on the bone as possible for your buyers. Our 1-bedroom units, 85% of them are priced under $600,000. Our 1-bedroom and den units are coming in at under $650,000 for about 90% of them. Our 2-bedroom units, about 85% of them coming in under $800,000. And our 3-bedroom unit, really in the South Tower, is the crown jewel. Going up the southeast corner, truly an incredible unit dedicated and designated for the end user, coming in at just over $1 million per unit. When you compare our sticker prices to the ongoing trades on the resale market within this very community, you'll see that we're coming in priced incredibly competitively under what the average resale trades are. Keep that in mind. Don't just look at the PSF, look at the overall sticker price, and I think you'll be pleasantly surprised when you'll see what our offering is all about. Now, finally, I want to talk to you about something that I believe is incredibly important. Layers in asset appreciation. In my opinion, when you talk about real estate value, we're not only talking about location. Of course, the location is important, but beyond that, especially when you're thinking about a place to live in 5 or 7 years from now, or a place to invest that will be ready in 5 or 7 years, what are the factors that are going to drive those prices up to make sure that the prices appreciate over the amount of time it takes to actually build a project? Most projects going on in the city right now would only have 3 or 4 layers of value. A project in the core will typically have the location layer, it will typically have the market performance layer, a transit layer, maybe an employment layer, but beyond that, there's not much of new activity driving up the prices beyond typical market appreciation. At Grand Central Mimico, we are one of the only locations in the city, I'd even venture to say the only location in the city and in Toronto's and in the Greater Toronto area that have 7 layers to our appreciation here, which means that you have so much more opportunity to capture growth within your real estate purchase. We have the traditional market performance, we have our location layer, transit, employment, retail, our green spaces, and the infrastructure enhancements that are committed to not only by the private sector, but also by the public sector as well, making Grand Central Mimico and the South Tower at the Buckingham the absolute best purchase opportunity in the GTA today. For our preliminary launch, we've put together an incredible incentive program to make sure that those of you who are able to act quickly benefit from it. We have an incredible deposit structure, 5% in 30 days, 2.5% in 5 months, 2.5% in 9 months, and an additional 5% in 15 months, making it only 15% down right up until occupancy. Parking, usually $60,000, now $50,000, $10,000 off of all parking spaces, and parking is available for purchase with any 2-bedroom units or larger. Our locker spaces that are typically priced at $5,000 are now priced at $3,000, and as well we're offering an assignment clause and the ability to actually rent your unit during occupancy period. Next, our development charges. Our development charges are capped $12,000 for the 1-bedroom type units, $15,000 for the 2-bedroom type units, and $17,000 for the 3-bedroom type units. But our caps are unique, they are global. That means that our cap includes not only the development charges, but also Section 37, education levies, parkland levies, GO Transit levies. In total, our $12,000 cap, $15,000 or $17,000 caps are actually valued at almost $70,000. Incredible savings for your buyers.